Hey everybody, welcome. It is time for, at least for this week, a return of Legacies of Caine, Vampire the Masquerade, post-holidays. We'll eventually be back to a more set schedule when we're like all not busy with holidays and various things. It'll eventually happen.
Yeah.
So, why don't we kind of go around, give shout-outs to characters, you know, who they are, what's going on with them, kind of thing like that. I'm going to start with, of course, Nathan, because he wasn't, he's the only one that's not joining us again from earlier.
All right. Well, Nathan is super excited about us being in immense danger, but potentially being able to finish off all of the stuff we've been trying to do all at once. I'm a little interested in how Federico's going to respond to us, but apparently it should be okay.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got, we'll do Emil.
He has no idea what's really going on. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
He's just kind of along for the ride for now.
Yes. And how's Dawn doing?
Dawn is genuinely excited to be in immense danger and beat the shit out of everyone. she's been working out lately. She's been having a great time in the actual gym bit of the gym.
Yup.
Not that that's used very often by anyone, apparently. But, you know.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not used. It could be used.
Oh no, it's used.
It's just used.
Dawn carries wet wipes as she goes to clean off
That's-
everything first.
Wet wipes are provided at various stations throughout the gym.
Various stations.
Mm-hmm. Along with towels and other... never mind, it doesn't matter.
Just don't let Dawn open any of the cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Especially that cupboard that's like large and looks like it would maybe carry, you know, clothing but keeps moving unusually.
No, that's what the cameras are for. Also blackmail, but, you know.
So, when we last left off, you were in the good old state of Maine. And of course, in Portland, Maine. You had been had some hunting experience with the prince, and you currently were sending a message to Federico de Padao. Sure, whatever.
I have a bear cloak.
Deep and down. Yep, got it.
His name is close enough. You had learned that he was more than likely in a certain area of the forest. Did you actually message him, or were you going to go try to meet him? I couldn't remember.
They said it was going to be impossible to get a message to him, so we had to go meet him.
Okay, so that's what we're at now. That you're planning a trip to the deep woods of Maine to visit Federico.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe hunt another bear. Do with another cloak.
Sure. Maybe hunt another bear.
And I can roll like crap again.
Yeah. Yeah. I figure
Probably.
everything up until the auction is going to go great for me at least. And then at the auction, I'm just going to fail to roll anything higher than like a 2.
I'm just looking back at my rolls from last time, and I don't think there was a single roll where I didn't get at least 1-1. Oh, so bad. Anyway.
Alright.
Great.
Does anybody know the park I mentioned, or am I just gonna have to choose another one?
I did not write it down.
No.
It's the park where you said we were going to find.
Yeah,
Federico.
it's fine. I probably said
Call it the park.
I said a specific one, I'm sure, but like my brain has forgotten which one it is when I'm looking at these park lists. I'm like, I don't know. I said something. Anyway, all right. Yeah. So you'll meet back up with Nathan, inform of what you found out about. When do you want to go on your journey?
I mean, now?
Yeah.
It's
What do we got to lose?
pretty early in the morning, I'm gonna say. Though.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
so we might want to hold off for a bit.
My brain was like, wait, isn't that when we should leave? Oh, right, vampires.
All right, vampires.
Yeah.
Whoop.
All right. Well, I guess cheap hotel at the moment. Not like super cheap, but like cheap for me.
So expensive for everyone.
So, like,
else.
The,
Nice Holiday Inn.
the best place in Portland.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, probably, yeah.
Don't know what you're trying to say.
They're probably not going to have like a super deluxe hotel there. It's just going to be like a pretty nice one. I can afford that right now.
All right, so you'll stay once again for the day at your place in Portland, and the next evening you will set out for the state park in Maine. I'm going to say it's one of the state parks. I might have said national park before, but I don't remember. You'll head up north. It'll tend to be a couple hours drive to get to the location. You'll be passing past Fairfield and Moscow and up towards Moosehead, Maine.
Maybe I'll get myself a moose head.
Sure.
You could maybe get a Moosehead in Moosehead. I don't actually know.
I mean, if you couldn't, their PR person is absolute garbage.
I'll sue.
Well, there's only one national park in Maine, so it's probably a state park.
Yeah. I'm gonna say probably in Lily Bay State Park is what's gonna be, because that's near Moosehead. It's on the other side of Moosehead Lake from Moosehead. I just like saying Moosehead. So it's not a difficult journey up to Moosehead. Take a couple hours to get up there, just because it's not as major highway, so there's a lot more smaller roads, and it looks like probably taking Route 6 up after you get off of 95 from Portland is the best way to go. I think Route 6 doesn't directly impact into it. You might have to take Route 7 from Newport, actually, rather than going up through Moscow. Looks the easiest way. There is... Oh, no, you could take the other direction from Route 6. That might be easier. Longer highway route, taking Route 201. Alright, we'll say you may take Route 201 just because it's a little longer. Less time on backroads highways and more actual highways.
Cool.
Okay.
Apparently. It's the largest mountain lake in the eastern United States.
Never knew that about
Maybe
Moosehead
why
Lake.
it's probably that may be why I've heard of it before. It's probably the only lake that I've like heard of by name in Maine.
It's got such great places around it as Beaver Cove.
Oh, I want to go look at the beavers.
There's also the chance that there are multiple Moosehead lakes, which is why I've heard of it.
Oh, curse me cold. Anyway.
I'm very purposefully not doing anything with that joke.
So you'll head to Moosehead, skip around to Beaver Cove, which I guess will be your new place to hang in it's the town of Beaver Cove with a
Good old Beaver Cove.
Population of 116.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Uh,
that's gone down since the 2010 census, apparently.
oh, that was the 2017 census.
Yeah, people left.
There's probably an inn nearby. Ish.
It looks really pretty.
I'm sure it's, most of them are incredibly pretty.
I see moose.
So Cozy Mook Lakeside, apparently, is where you'd be probably cabin rentals. That's the closest place.
Yep. That'll do.
Yeah. You'll bring some blackout curtains.
They have Airbnb there.
Hmm.
It's
So
like
I'm gonna
11
go with-
places.
I'm gonna go with cabin rental.
Yeah. There's apparently some, from the state park, you can head up into the mountainous areas from there. So, technically where he's at would not be an actual Lily Bay State Park. It's going to be off of that, up into the mountains of Maine, near the Appalachian areas. So kind of in between the two of them. So you're going to be heading east from Beaver Cove.
Hmm.
Do you have any sort of mountaineering gear? Or plans for what you're doing up in the mountains? You have an idea of where he's at. One of these... Let me zoom in and see if I can... Oh, okay. So... If you zoom in on one of these tiny little lakes directly east of Beaver Cove, you hear that his location is off of Mountain Pond, which is next to Fog with 2 G's Pond. There's apparently like a road here too, but it has no name because Maine. I'm just gonna go for it's somewhere. It's up there. There is a probably like difficult mountain trail that you can get onto that will take you up
Where is
that
this
way.
in relation to Moosehead Lake again?
Oh, so if you go to Beaver Cove,
Yep.
which is right below Lily State Park, head directly east from there, and you'll see these 2 little lakes that are kind of up in the mountains. Because like
Fog Pond.
yeah, Fog Pond and Mountain Pond. He's right around there. Does Beaver Cove have Street View? I'm curious now. I don't think they do.
Oh, okay. There it is. Oh, Beaver. Okay, there's Beaver
Oh,
Cove.
I can look at Lily Bay Road.
Yeah. Oh, you can look at Lily Bay Road?
Yeah. I dragged my little man on there. Mud pond. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Can I look? Why can't I look at mud pond? I feel cheated.
So, what's your plan?
I imagine go find a place to park, drive around until we find a decent place to park, and then go out hiking for a bit.
Okay. It's gonna be a couple of like a mile or 2 hike into where you need to go to from Beaver Cove. So you'll be parking like late at night, but not so late. Yeah, I don't know what that like trail off of Lily Bay is, but I think it's like there are some like really bad back roads. It looks like that have no names. Oh, wait. Prong Pond Road goes for a while. Nope. So you can actually partially head up into there. You can go to Prong Pond Road, and then there's a trail which goes and winds up to the north of those two lakes. I'm gonna guess it's like unnamed dirt road of doom. Probably awful and, like, unpaved, certainly. It has no actual name, but they have it on the map. So if you want to take up if you have some kind of 4x4, you could probably take that route all the way up that way.
Sure.
Then park on the side of the road somewhere. Alright, yeah. You'll head deep into the Appalachian Mountains of Maine. It's,
Could rent a truck with a camper top.
It's not easy going. Please give me a drive check. Dexterity drive. Whoever's behind the wheel.
I expect it's Nathan.
Okay.
I don't think I'm fully
Wow.
trusted yet.
Yeah. You're really great. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
I figured out what was wrong. I forgot to take more Dayquil.
Oh. I'll get some Dayquil.
Well,
be right
go
back.
chug it.
Equal break.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick Dayquil break. You guys entertain the crowd while I go grab
no.
it so I can take it.
Entertain
BRB.
the crowd.
I want
Oh, man.
everyone with my fantastic emotes. Is that top fucking notch.
So, how was your guys' Christmas and New Year?
I was sick on New Year's Eve until like a couple days before New Year, so that was fun.
Awesome.
It got me out of family gatherings.
Why am I
Nice.
nose running? Oh, that's right. I'm filled with not medication.
How was yours?
It was pretty good. We had a murder mystery party for New Year's. And my wife has a party curse, so half of the people couldn't make it. So I had to find 2 people to fill in for the 3 people that couldn't make it. But it went pretty well. And my wife made eggnog with maple whiskey from Canada and spiced rum, and it was delicious.
Oh, I love eggnog, and I can't get it here.
What do you mean get it? You just make it.
Yeah, but I'm lazy.
You don't have to like.
And
You don't
the
have to
thing is,
do a
though-
whole lot.
Yeah, but the thing is, we get our eggs fresh from a farm, and we don't get them over Christmas because we haven't visited the farm. And I ain't using supermarket eggs. They're terrible.
I mean, they're a lot better than no eggnog.
This is true. I also have magic tea tree oil in my eye, which is fun.
Yeah.
The only murder mystery that I've done was like this how to host a thing, like adventure box or something that my friend had from when he was in high school. So it was how to host like a teen one, and we're doing it in like our late 20s, and it's just like, this is the thing that we're doing.
The closest
yeah.
thing I ever did to a murder mystery thing was an escape room.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I've
I
never
work at
done
one.
murder mystery. I've done
You
an
work at
escape
one?
room, though.
Yeah.
They're pretty great. I do love them.
They're
Never do
awesome.
them with small children.
It was actually really amusing because we basically part of it was it's like, there was like a minimum requirement of people, in part because you all start handcuffed to different places.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
you have to- yeah, and you have to like pass things around and figure things out to figure out how to unlock yourselves.
Wow. Ugh.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yep. All I remember from that murder mystery is one of the characters was a vampire named Harry Bloodsoe. Because we were all supernatural creatures or something, and I think I was the vampire hunter who was after the vampire or something. Oh no, I was the the funeral director's son who was a werewolf.
Oh,
Yep. And I guess I wasn't behind it. I can't remember who's behind it. It might have been the evil twin.
It's always the evil twin.
Yeah.
There was a lot of craziness in that game.
Now the question is, out of me and my twin, which one's the evil one?
Whoa.
Bum bum bum.
Well, you just called them my twin, so that means you're the evil one. You didn't call them
fair.
my evil twin.
Trick question. Bull.
Okay. So you find yourself somewhere north of Mountain Pond. GPS isn't necessarily working as well as you want up here. And you certainly don't have cell signal at this point.
Oh, I go hunting enough. I can justify to say that I probably have a satellite phone.
Yeah, okay. Definitely helps. But you are in the middle of nowhere at this point in time. Off a kind of like dirt road. Nathan actually did pretty well at keeping you like really well on the road and got up there pretty quickly. With all its kind of winds, turns, angles, areas where like it was kind of gravelly and like the car wanted to slide as you're trying to go up the incline or or down the incline, and it was just like it was not the most pleasant roadway. But Nathan did a really good job and managed to push you through to this area.
Didn't have to get out and push, so she's impressed.
Now theoretically, you know that he is somewhere around Mountain Pond and Fog Pond, but you're not sure exactly where the cabin is in this area. It's mountainous, the elevation is kind of high in this area, there's a lot of forest cover. You haven't seen a lot of signs of people for maybe the last half an hour on this, like this road here. When you first turned on it, there was a few signs of people. Now, not so many.
So when you say this road here,
The unnamed road, which is north of, which separates from Prong Pond Road and is directly north of Mountain Pond and south of South Brook.
Oh, I found it.
okay,
Yeah.
My little man on it? Nope.
okay, all right.
Certainly not.
So we wouldn't take the unnamed road that goes north from Scammon Road to within, I don't know how far that is,
Oh god, these roads.
a few thousand feet of Mountain Pond and Fog Pond? Because there's that road to the south.
Oh yeah, there's that
Yeah, Northbrook.
you could probably take Scammon and follow the river too. You could have done too. But
Yeah.
it was a little more up into the mountains where the mountain pond is, so I assumed you wanted to probably come from the north where it is more mountainy. Rather than climb up a mountain on foot, take it by car. Up to you, though. If you did want to take the other way, it is perfectly fine.
Up to you guys.
I mean, they both go near the same area, and at this, what's the scale?
I just figure the one further south is like 1,000 feet away, maybe 2, whereas the one to
Yeah.
the north is more like 2, 3, maybe even almost a mile.
Yeah.
So climb for 1,000, 2,000 feet, or climb less for a mile.
I like less climbing.
Okay, let's do that then. Cool. So we're gonna work our way generally towards Mountain Pond.
Okay.
By the way, to remember how many feet are in a mile, it's 5 tomatoes.
All right.
Why specifically tomatoes?
5
Oh.
to 8 0. 5 tomato.
But I say tomato.
Then it's ought o.
Okay.
I don't know. Random.
You're only off by 80 feet. It's not going to be that big a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. What the fuck is that memorial site? There's a memorial site to the south, basically directly south of Mountain Pond, and it looks like a trash pile. Why is it calling itself a museum? This doesn't look like a museum.
Man, I got like a satellite view, and it's like crazy in that area.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at as well.
The mountains are so interesting because they have those like marks of where I guess like it's where creeks and stuff go a lot of times, where runoff is for like rain. I'm guessing in all those directions. And it makes such an interesting like from above view. Anyway, all right. Yeah, you'll head on that road whose name I cannot find, but I can zoom in on it and it looks very dirt. Okay, great. I estimated that correctly. Aha. It's not difficult travel down to the mountain pond area, but it is a little bit of a travel to get there. Eventually, you will reach Mountain Pond, though.
I guess a B-52 bomber crashed there. Okay.
Would have been good if they actually house the things properly, but you know.
What are you going to do to try to find this place here?
Well,
Perhaps our
vampires.
hunter could.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I mean, I could basically look around to see if I see signs of people having passed. What was he? He was a Nosferatu. Yeah, so people having passed. Well, no, Nosferatu can also get protein.
Also, he probably feeds on animals. Judging Nosferatu. I mean, they're used to things like feeding in sewers on rats a lot of times. Many of them adapt to that.
Yes, I'm not. But it's not about like feeding on people, but people going out to hunt and feed.
Branches
That'd be
snapped,
what I'm looking for.
poop, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So but since he's a Nosferatu, I know that he probably can only do wolf and rat and bat. Because technically you have to be a gangrel to do other things.
Well, snap. Gangrel.
Anyway, but yeah, so basically I'd search mostly for signs of human passage, but basically anything also.
Okay. Yeah, you take a look around. Give me perception survival. Say. Seems appropriate.
Survival.
Can I help out at all with perception alert or perception investigation?
Can I get the bonus for my advanced smell?
Sure. If you're
So
tracking by
difficulty?
scent, you can.
Well, that'd be part of it. I'm tracking by everything. Maybe
What's-
-1?
Let's just say, roll a standard check then of survival. We'll see how well you do.
Okay. Wait. Dang it, I hate when I do that. When I put the difficulty into the modifier section. 3 successes.
Okay. You roll some there. Let's see here. Okay. All right. You don't pick up on a specific trail of anything that stands out at you as this, but you do notice that as you're kind of searching around in this area and heading deeper into it, there definitely is signs of creatures out here, and you do end up seeing some signs of some deer, bear, and some kind of canine.
A lone canine?
Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can track that one then. Even though some can go away from the pack for small periods of time, it's much less likely.
You have trouble following that one.
I say, well, I think we're in the right area, at least. There's a track for a canine. However, not only is it a lone canine, which is unusual, because it is also... It seems to be well covered.
Hmm. All right. Shall we continue searching? What do you recommend?
Well, I mean, the best we could do is continue to search for more clues, and over time maybe try and triangulate the position of where he most often goes.
Would we perhaps have most luck searching between the lakes?
Perhaps.
Well, let's do that then.
Okay.
Dawn is finding large sticks to use as a walking stick.
Okay.
And so she can poke things.
I'm also going to make sure to, like, mark trees where I find tracks and stuff, so it might be slightly easier to find again if we need to.
Sure.
Like,
You'll kind of mark things
figure things
around. So, can you give me another survival perception check then?
What does it go?
Oh, okay. Again, you see some signs, but you're as you're kind of moving around in the area in between Mountain Pond and Fog Pond, it's hard to tell. Now, the area between Mountain Pond and Fog Pond is about 500 feet in between them, but you just know it's in this area, unfortunately. You do get a feeling that it is actually from the area in between it. If you would head a little farther northwest, it seems that more of the tracks show up in that area. It's at a higher elevation and much more into the greenery. Like a much more dense area of greenery.
I went to go over to click to the Google map and accidentally hit the X.
Womp.
That'll do it.
No, not Frog Pond. Fog Pond.
I mean, pond does sound pretty good. If it wasn't for my weird fear of frogs, anyway.
So find our way more north from the ponds?
Yeah, northwestern area of the ponds.
Okay.
You'll find more.
So he's probably... We're getting closer. There's more... I'm picking up more tracks around here. He is quite careful, though.
That would make sense.
While he's going over this, I was looking at inns for the area, and I'm like, you'd be staying at the Blair's Head Inn in Moosehead, which counts in Moosehead Lake, which is really in Greenville, which is really south of Beaver Cove, which is very nice.
Nice.
It's definitely where you'd be staying. There's a 3-star hotel up in that area. The Blair's Hill Inn and Restaurant. Yes.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah. I mean, so there's nothing we can do besides continue to search.
All right. You.
If we could shout.
You
I
could
bring that up as an idea to you guys, but I don't know if that would. If I don't, you guys seem to know a little bit more about who we're looking for than I do.
I'm not sure that would be particularly useful, as if the gentleman is here and a hunter, we would perhaps be shot before we had an opportunity to recognize things. Although,
Very well.
this does not appear to be working particularly well, or at least particularly quickly.
And it's only a matter of time. If he has a residence, he has to have a well. I was about to say he has to have a residence, but he could simply be using stone. Stone flesh or whatever it's called. Stone no.
You heard he was in a cabin up here somewhere, though. You haven't found a cabin.
Oh, okay. He was in a cabin. Okay.
That's what you heard. He was based out of a cabin. Whether he's there at the time, but you heard he was based
If
out
he
of
has a
one.
cabin, he's got to be around here somewhere.
Hmm.
We could
I'm gonna
start a grid search.
I suppose.
try climbing a tree and see if I spot anything.
Okay, get perception of alertness. Please roll that.
Nope, I spot nothing.
Yeah, you're like, you look up there, you're like, there's some
It's
trees.
too dark.
And it's very dark. It's dark and there's trees. It's got really nice stars out.
You don't see them in New York.
No. It's quite a sight just to see look up into the stars and enjoy the sight of them.
You used to.
You know, perhaps I could do something a little different. And I stay here for a little bit. I'll see what I can see from the air. And I use Shape of Beast to turn into a bat.
Okay. Then you could give me perception alertness. What do your bat eyes see?
Taking the vampire's eyes and
I just
gone.
wanted
Uh,
to... perception alertness. Gosh dang it, those ones.
all the perception rolls are reduced by 2, the difficulties of them anyway. In bat
That's
form,
for smell.
oh, that's it. That was wolf form.
Oh.
In bat form,
Yeah, that's wolf
hearing-based rolls are reduced by 3. Attacks made against them are reduced by small size. Okay, so you still got 1 success. You
Do I hear anything?
you hear nature. I'm gonna say that.
Okay,
Like, but you
that's fair.
you take a you do hear some kind of canine making noises somewhere.
Interesting.
It doesn't sound wolf-like though. It does kind of bark howl, like a weird bark howl. A little different than what you'd hear from a wolf. I don't know what an animal is by its sound skill or ability check would be.
Perception animal cat?
Sure. That sounds good. We'll go with that.
Beautiful. Uh,
I'll keep it difficulty 6, just because it is distant, but your bad ears help you a lot to hear some of this. Alright, you recognize it as coyotes. Coyotes. Yes.
That explains the individual canines. Okay. I fly back down.
Uh-huh. You
Okay.
did see a couple of openings in the tree lines, too, that maybe there's something you can't quite see from the air very easily there. That would be, like, areas where it's a little bit more cleared in the nearby area. So you could probably go to those and check them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You also know that there are some
Well-
coyote-wolf hybrids in Maine, too. Because, you know, those are a thing now, too.
Yeah, crossbreeding or inbreeding, or no, not inbreeding. What's the
Crossbreeding.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll fly back down and shift back and be like, so I've been on the wrong path. I was thinking wolves, but these are probably coyotes, which explains the individual nature.
hmm.
With that being said, there were a couple of clearings I saw, so we could check those out.
Hmm.
Hmm,
All right.
let's go then.
Yep.
Also, I am keeping track of the time.
I have a perfect sense of time.
Ah! Just because I was curious about it, yes, koi wolves, as they're called, they can breed. So there could be more koi wolves. There could be a group of them that have been, like, breeding out here. Apparently they're what's really suited for Maine. Hybrids.
Interesting.
So you got those
I
and
hate
some
it.
coyotes. Alright. Yeah, you'll head into some of these, like, kind of opening areas. The first couple just look to be areas where there's some tree falls, some damages. One of them looks like there had been a lightning strike and caused a tree to fall, knocking down another one. But after your, like, couple of hours of searching around, though, you come across one of the openings a little farther up, a little bit more in the mountainous areas. I'd call this to the direct west of the center of Mountain Pond. You find a clearing with a old cabin in it. It's run down, dark. Looks like something that's probably been here for at least 100 years.
Lovely.
Koi wolves are adorable. They're real cute. I want one.
I mean, it is half coyote, half wolf, so it's like extra wild.
Extra adorable.
Oh, when I get when I get a dog, I plan to get a Tamaskin, which is literally just a wolf, a dog that is bred to look pretty much exactly like a wolf. And that's what, funny enough. Yeah, like
They're
that's literally
adorable.
what I'm planning to get. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, well, I think we're here.
All right. How do you knock on the door?
From here, it's you guys. I don't know who this is or what he's capable of.
All right. Dawn?
Oh, okay then. I'll stroll on up, and if there is a door, I'll knock on it.
Okay. There's like a wooden door. It looks like it's maybe even like handmade or something. And you knock on it, and let's take our first break.
Oh, excellent.
Yep. So, they've arrived at the cabin where theoretically Federico de Padao is. God, I will butcher his name for all eternity.
You'll butcher the butcher's name?
Yes. No, he's not the butcher. He's the right hand of the Camarilla.
Boy.
Thank you very much.
Oh, right. Well,
I don't know who the left
X-
hand is, but he's the right hand, and you know.
The X
How
right
do you
hand.
how do you spell that?
Dippadua. He is very, I think, Italian. Let me check here.
That sounds about right.
An Italian mercenary in life. There you go. Very assassiny, too, I would say. I mean, if you're a Nosferatu enforcer, you're totally assassinating people from the shadows. It's one of them things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do what you gotta do.
Anyway. So we'll take our break. If you need to go to use the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, go ahead and do that, and we'll be back then. So see you in a little bit.